Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Our music, talking about our life, have it a lot of pain with the music, a lot of sadness.
A family portrait, a pair of worn-out shoes, a chair to rest one's tired head. These artworks provide a rare glimpse into the inner world of refugee artists.
Refugee Artists, Ambassadors of Peace, Culture and Humanity, Part 3 of 3. Continue watching to find out more.
Tsarang tuavo, that means how are you in Shuni, one of the languages spoken in Gorno-Badakhshan, an autonomous region of Tajikistan. Virtuous viewers, I am Safsan. The generous people of Gorno-Badakhshan are so happy the world is populated with such good people like you. Welcome to our show, Refugee Artists, Ambassadors of Peace, Culture and Humanity, Part 3 of 3. Many prominent refugee artists use their fame to advocate for human rights. The South African singer, songwriter and actress Miriam Makeba is an iconic figure in the anti-apartheid movement. Zenzele Miriam Makeba was born in Johannesburg in 1932 and sang at church from a young age. Her music career began when she joined an all-male South African harmony group, the Cuban Brothers, singing popular African-American songs. At 21 years old, she joined the Manhattan Brothers and became nationally known with her hit, La Kuchoni Ilanga.
La Kuchona Ilanga Zakubuya Inkomo Kauleza Kaloku Ufike Usi.
3 years later, she also joined an all-female band, the Skylarks, and performed with both groups. In 1956, she released Lovely Lies, her first solo success and the first South African record to chart on the US Billboard Top 100. This catapulted her to stardom and she was cast as the lead female role in the Broadway opera, King Kong, which led to an appearance in the anti-apartheid film, Come Back Africa. Her 4-minute cameo in the film, in which she sang 2 songs, made a huge impression on audiences and she became internationally recognized. As her music career flourished, Ms. Makeba settled in New York City in 1959 and began to use her voice to bring light to the humanitarian injustices of the South African apartheid during the early 1960s. For her anti-discrimination stance, her passport was revoked and she became a stateless person. However, 10 countries came to her rescue and awarded her honorary citizenship. Her exile became a cause célèbre for the civil rights and anti-apartheid movements. Miriam Makeba relocated to Guinea in 1968 due to growing civil rights controversy in the US. In the following years, she traveled around the world to perform at important ceremonies and events, continuing to be a voice of freedom and equality. In 1990, after 31 years of exile, Ms. Makeba finally returned to South Africa when the apartheid was abolished. During her incredible music career, Ms. Makeba released more than 30 albums and received numerous accolades and honors, including a Grammy Award in 1965 and the 2001 Polar Music Prize. For her tireless efforts to speak up against social injustice, she was honored with the Dag Hammarskjöld Peace Prize in 1986, the Otto Hahn Peace Medal in gold in 2001, several honorary doctorates and the Presidential Award in 1999 from the President of South Africa, His Excellency Nelson Mandela. Her music inspired a powerful sense of hope in all of us, stated Mr. Mandela. In that same year, she was appointed a Goodwill Ambassador for South Africa to the United Nations. Miss Miriam Makeba passed away doing what she loved best, singing at a benefit concert in Caserta, Italy. She is fondly remembered as the Empress of African Song and Mama Africa. Senseless wars and conflicts have ended the dreams and aspirations of many young people, but through resilience and kindness from strangers in a foreign land, many are able to start a successful new life. Mariella Shaker was born in Aleppo, Syria in 1990. She enrolled at the Arabic Institute of Music in 1999 and graduated in 2004 as a distinguished violinist. She was very active and participated in many concerts and festivals, earning accolades and prestige for her talented playing. Ms. Shaker also taught violin for 5 years at the same music institute she graduated from. In 2011, she furthered her music studies at the Trinity Laban Conservatoire for Music in London. Mariella returned home in 2013, but her flourishing music career was halted by the war. A full tuition scholarship from Monmouth College in the US provided her a way to escape the conflict. Reflecting on her escape, she said, "The war didn't scare me, losing my dreams did." Ms. Shaker graduated Monmouth, receiving a second bachelor's degree in music, and was honored for excellence in music performance. She then acted as the concertmaster for the Monmouth College Chamber Orchestra for a few years, before pursuing another full tuition scholarship to study for her master's in performance at DePaul University. After graduating from DePaul, Mariella Shaker went on to perform with many prestigious symphony orchestras and was often invited to play at important events in front of leaders around the world. On June 20th, 2015, in celebration of World Refugee Day, she made her debut recital at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Mariella was named Champion of Change for World Refugee by His Excellency President Barack Obama in 2015. She was appointed United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees High-Profile Supporter in 2017 and received the first-ever Anne Frank Promise Keeper Award in 2018. Mariella continues to use music to bring joy to the world and speak about the plight of refugees. She once said, "I'm trying to use music as a bridge for peace, spreading peace and love over war and hatred." Kind viewers, let's pause a moment for an important message. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program featuring refugee artists from around the world. In the 21st century, sadly, there are still refugees due to political unrest in some parts of the world. Forced to flee from their homes to seek refuge in foreign lands, many turn to art to express themselves. Art is a common language that speaks to people's hearts and overcomes the barriers of language, race, and culture. In a Palestinian refugee camp on the outskirts of Damascus, the capital of Syria, Mr. Ahem Ahmad, known as the pianist of Yarmouk, used to wheel his piano out daily into the rubble-filled streets of the war-torn city to play comforting songs and melodies. Children would gleefully flock around, and neighbors would shuffle out to listen, hoping to escape from the harsh reality, if only for a short time. Mr. Ahmad made video recordings of his daily routine and uploaded them to social media to document the resilience of his people. Mr. Ahmad's videos went viral and made him a YouTube star, which was instrumental in his eventual escape from Syria. The piano was the last surviving remnant of his family's music shop that used to house thousands of instruments, now destroyed by bombings. When his piano was burned, he could bear it no more. In 2015, he risked his life to cross a stormy sea, then through Turkey, Greece, Serbia, Croatia, Austria, and finally reached Germany, where he had many kind supporters who offered assistance. The rest of his family, his wife, 2 sons, and parents have now joined him. Mr. Ahmad commented, "I got a lot of help in Germany. Without this help, I couldn't go on with life." As a way to heal and tell his story, the stories of refugees and those still living in places of conflict, Mr. Ahmad published a touching memoir in 2016 entitled The Pianist of Yarmouk. In 2017, a similarly titled short documentary film produced and directed by Vikram Ahluwalia was made to further honor Mr. Ahmad's amazing story. Mr. Ahmad now has a platform, and to this day, he continues to play music at concerts and events and uses every opportunity to speak for those without a voice.
Our music, talking about our life, have it a lot of pain with the music, a lot of sadness. And the people not understand your pain when you don't talk about the pain.
In 2016, Mr. Ahmad was awarded the International Beethoven Prize for Human Rights, Peace, Inclusion, and the Fight Against Poverty. It is hard to imagine what life is like for refugees. The basic freedoms that we take for granted are luxuries many people live without, as they struggle to make sense of the situations they are forced into. To help us glimpse into their world and emphasize, we would like to showcase some artwork by several refugee artists from Moria refugee camp on the island of Lesbos, Greece. The paintings were exhibited at St. James Church in London, England in January 2020, and a charity auction was held afterwards to raise funds for the camp's Hope Project. My Family is a portrait by a 15-year-old girl with no formal training in art, Fatima Hassini, who still lives in the Moria refugee camp.
This painting shows the poverty of immigrants, their misery, and my hopes for a better life.
This painting has great meaning. After terrible hardships and hard work, we succeed. This painting conveys the message of success. You can get what you want only if you try. This girl is a friend of mine, one of the successful women I met when we were on the boat in the Black Sea.
I was a man who did not know a God. I went to a sage and he told me to imagine 2 chairs, one for me, the other for God. I followed his advice and opened my mind and heart to God. And of course, I felt someone was sitting there listening to me. Peace and love. This painting shows you that a mother carries the world in her belly. We have a world full of war. It would be better to have a world full of peace and safety.
Images can tell vivid stories without words and evoke powerful emotions. Our hearts melt from the messages of sorrow, hope, longing, peace, and love conveyed on canvas. We wish more countries will open their borders to lovingly embrace our brothers and sisters forced to flee unstable homes. Supreme Master Qinghai has long been a voice for the refugees. In 1994, in Hong Kong, she led thousands of our association members to plead for humane treatment of refugees from Aulac, also known as Vietnam. For decades, she has continuously sent financial support and spiritual comfort to refugees from different countries. She often calls for governments to accept those who seek help. In a 2018 gathering with our association members in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, Formosa, Master said,
I thank all the countries who help those in need, especially the strangers who came to their land. Because in the Bible it says, be kind to strangers, because you are also strangers in the land of Egypt. That was because when God was talking to Egyptian people. But this can be also broadened into the whole world, like you are also strangers. We are strangers in this earth, on this earth, in this world when we were born. We came from where? We had no idea. So we should be kind to all strangers as long as they don't harm us in any way. Maybe like the immigrant of war, in the beginning they might need some help for desperate situation to beginning, but later when they have job, then they will take care of themselves. Yes, this is our duties to help each other.
Optimistic viewers, we hope you have enjoyed our program today. Refugee Artists, Ambassadors of Peace, Culture and Humanity, Part 3 of 3. Up next is a hearty vegan culinary tour in the Holy Land of Israel, right after noteworthy news. We pray for a world where all beings live in peace and harmony under heaven's merciful sky.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/AJAR.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/AJAR.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/AJAR.
برامجنا متوفرة بالعديد من اللغات. يرجى زيارة suprememastertv.com/schedule و suprememastertv.com/AJAR.